I'll share it into that chat last when I'm fully shared around and it's fully good to go, if that makes any sense. But that is me live again. I am bringing you Speed Demon versus Rhandoss. I know from chatting to Speed the other night that he is very excited to be taking on Rhandoss. It's somebody he's known for a long time on the track through his time in ride, and it's somebody that he admires and respects greatly. Isn't that right, Speed? Yep. Right, he fully knows that Rhandoss carries a lot of speed and that he's maybe not quite at that level, but again, similar to myself, thoroughly enjoys coming up against people of high class and giving it a chance to try and pick up the odd little sneaky line here and there that you don't always get to see in the full lobbies. Speed knows that he does have his work cut out for him to be able to take anything away from Rhandoss, but again, is here for the fun, getting used to the competition as he progresses. There I am. There we go. I am fully ready to go. I believe you are fully ready to go as well, aren't you, Speed? Yep, so we're all Rhandoss as well, can hear. Nice in the party. Again, nice hello to you both. Rhandoss, it's the first time we've been in the party together. I know you've not got a mic, but it has been nice getting to know you a little bit better through YouTube and a couple of messages that we have had. I've got a lot of respect for your decision to stay with Ride. Will hold my hands up with the troubles Ride have been going through. We have offered just here and there, not trying to disrupt anything too much or ruin things for them, but we have just said, we've not said we'll definitely take them on, but just said if they wanted a place, we would. As you heard in the last stream, Keynote did welcome him to pros. He did come with us. He had been made leader, but didn't want. He wants to focus on the racing. So he's more happy to be in a crew that's got a leader in place at the moment than leading himself, and that's why he stepped away. It was nothing personal against people like Zombie. There is a good luck bro from Rhandoss in the chat. And it has already started. That was a quick start. We didn't actually get to see the start line for very long. The track popping into place. We are going to sit with Speed Demon first lap and a bit, and we can, and I love to hear it, Speed. I can hear that cadence steering. I was only teaching you about, what was it, like 4 or 5 days ago? I can hear you tippity tapping away, increasing them reflexes. Get himself nicely lined up, not yet comfortable with the loop line and speed. I'll show you that in the coming days and weeks. As we go through a nice tunnel, nice tube there, Speed staying nice and smooth, and Speed is getting some curb boost, and it is so nice to see that. Again, just to slightly put it into context, Speed does come from the older games where going over that white line would get you penalties, whereas now he's having to learn the mechanics of GTA, not just like racing etiquette and all that sort of thing that he picked up over the course of, I believe it was in the 80s. I'll have to have a quick look back at our message, but he did send me the game's name, and I will give it a little shout out because that's where Speed's origins come from. Rhandoss has been able to pull away with better knowledge of the GTA mechanics and taking good advantage of it. Right, I also will be giving a little shout out here. Kino has just opened a lobby for a mixed PL. Oh no, I just disliked my own stream, don't I be doing that? I don't often like them either, but I will like this one, having just disliked it, just to even up the algorithm, and I am now in chat with you all. Hello, Fluid, Mike, Doodoo, and Ninau. Jack is in a party on his own. Sometimes when it's a bit louder in the main party mic, I step aside just to do commentary so we can focus in on it. Because there were some early complaints, or not complaints, but just suggestions, just to limit the background noise and to allow my focus and the commentary focus to be kept to YouTube comments and the lines and commentary. Quite rightly so, I do believe, with that being the service we're trying to offer. It wouldn't then be right to have a full party full of people speaking over the commentation, or for us to then be getting too heavily distracted to pay attention to what's going on track, or to be feeling like we're stepping over other people's conversations. So when the party is slightly busier and louder, like either myself when I'm doing them alone, Jack's not always got the time to do it, he does want to be getting his times down even further and pushing hard for that. It was just him pushing me into doing it a little bit, and now he lets me run with it as much as I like and gets involved when he does have a little bit of time. Didn't mean to do that little transition there, my control flipped itself. But we do see Rhandoss having good lead. He's exiting the loop as Speed comes through first. With that good time. To Speed through the loops, you want to, I'll give you a little explanation now and you can maybe try and implement it. So you want to try and get onto the left side of the boost for that first boost on the flat part of the track, and then let the car drift slightly to the right as you hit the second one, and pull back on the control to get the back wheels to touch down first, and then just straighten the car up if you feel like you're going to go out of the loop, and that will really pick up a little bit of extra boost for you. Matthew Smart offering good luck to both. Again, we'll know of Rhandoss from his time in ride, but I'm sure there will be a slight little bit more luck offered to Speed, being a good friend of his. And Matthew Smart, mate, having commentated on you twice now, and again, you've been in the party quite regularly, you will become a moderator. Mate, just with a little bit of time, you are in the crew. I'm sure I will maybe commentate on you in the future. We will get you moderator soon. Now, Rhandoss with a 2:29.250, the best time around here we've seen certainly today. Very strong time, and Rhandoss may be showing that he is starting to have fully shaken the rust. I know I've seen him on track a little bit more often over the past few days. He has admitted to feeling the pressure with the streams and the commentary, but also recently started streaming himself. Did his first sort of test stream the other day just to start getting used to the pressure, and you can see Rhandoss with different line speeds swinging to the right of the loop, getting the back wheels down first and going through the loops very nice. You see it's picking up a lot of the boost. Having raced alongside Esco very often, Green Machine and the likes of Wall Climb will be ride favourite. Again, just in case you missed it before, Kino, I believe it is, or Zombie, is hosting. Rhandoss, lovely, slowing up at the line, making sure that the gap shortens enough for speed, and then stopping just before the checkpoint triggers. Really nice to see, showing that good respect back to speed that Speed has for Rhandoss. Speed, very much like myself and Matt, does know at the moment that his speed isn't quite up to the top level. But does thoroughly enjoy racing the better races. It is the best way to improve. You come up against the lines a lot more regularly, and you allow yourself a good lobby to race against, put good pressure on. Mobbing with a good look, gents, and a little dab of appreciation. Lovely to see, Mobbing. I'll double dab that up. It's a little bit of an illegal manoeuvre, the double dab. And again, as a couple more people have come in, if you are watching this on your phones, do maybe head back into game, listen to the action and glance your eyes across here and there, maybe come back and watch it later and follow it a bit, maybe like a radio racing commentary, and I'll try to follow the action a little bit more tightly with my commentary, and then you guys also can that's not good. F's in chat for mobbing. I am going to offer the first F for mobbing there. Bless you, dude. That recent video, I'm guessing it's going to be like the rendering and the processing completely bricking his laptop, having to try and reinstall OS, but he doesn't have enough freezer space to do so and can't access the hard drive to make the space. Mobbing, do you by any chance have like a secondary laptop or something that you can access the hard drive through if you take it out and plug it in through? I know there's even for standard hard drives there are cables you can get to plug it in. Thank you, Mobbing, saying that the double dab is completely legal within stunt racing guidelines, just a little bit out of code of conduct, just morally in the grey area. Rhandoss with a good line through the tube has been able to pull away, good lead on the exit. Speed does carry good speed through that section of the track though, limiting any further damage nicely. Nice and clean through the tracks, and you see Speed pushing the boundaries of tracks more than we have seen him do before. Speed here to stick to just below that line, yeah, and then swing back down into it. Yeah, nice, that will give you decent boost, and then as you start to pick it up a little bit more consistently, you'll be able to follow in. Maybe a slight brick from Rhandoss has allowed Speed to close the gap ever so slightly. but Rhandoss looks like he's going nice and tidy through that section. But yeah, as I was saying, if you are watching this on your phones, do potentially join on Kino or Zombie. They're hosting a mixed PL, and I believe Astan is hosting a stunt PL. So there's two little shout outs there to the goated one and one of the freshest, newest members in Pros, and Zombie. I know he had gone through a bit of a hard decision recently, but as I did say to him, and I do thoroughly mean it, 100% back your decision, my dude. And if anything, like, it's not dropped my respect for Kino coming to Pros, but like, you having to go back, it shows how loyal you are. And then a little shout to Rhandoss as well, because we did offer him the chance if he wanted to come, and he has said that he will be staying with Ride through the end of his stunt racing career. And for that, like, you can't offer anything but the utmost respect. But we knew that there were a couple of differences at Ride. They are all now cleared up. Esco is in Pros. His differences with Brunza behind, and are now moving on very nicely. And it was just differences in management of the crew. Esco wanted a little bit more flexibility from the sounds of things. Didn't want quite so much pressure on drivers, wanted a bit more of community. We are going to head to Rhandoss for the final portion. See, the final portion. Just stuck in read-only mode. I had really hoped that you get that cleaned up shortly, Mobbin. I've seen Rhandoss with 153.369 on the first lap, down to a 151.746. And a very clean exit there from Rhandoss. Nice, good control on the exit. Rhandoss on the back of the car. Good self-promotion, and while we're on this portion of the track, I am going to head over to Rhandoss's channel, grab that link and get that posted in my chat. Rhandoss has clicked just on the entry to the tube here, managing to get himself all nicely lined up, and that will be allowing speed to catch up slightly there. But Rhandoss did have a good strong lead. He has been able to pull back ahead. Rhandoss with a heavy brick on the bridge as the speed just going around that tight corner before heading through the bridge section. Rhandoss back on track, picking up pace very, very nicely. It is a shame that we didn't catch a nice cleaner lap with the 151, but again, Rhandoss, mate, I know you are still getting used to this. I am going to help get used to it a little bit more and share your channel, get you hopefully a couple more subscribers. Will, if they show you the same sort of support that they're showing me and the rest of the community. I'm actually going to post it as a comment first, so it's actually on the main video. Rhandoss having to get across the line, making sure it was all nice and sorted. There's that, there's this. That's actually in the comments, and that's maybe something I should do a little bit more often. Massive GGs to Rhandoss taking the first race, or the first two races, sorry. Speed managed to pull pace enough with a couple of mistakes at the end from Rhandoss. There was no issues with DNFing. Now, heading on in the next track. That is Hero. And again, sorry for not having posted your channels like that. It only crossed my mind just then to actually make it clear what I am linking. But with me giving it the shout outs at the time in the video and saying head over to live chat and stuff, hopefully that will be quite clear because it pops up in time with the video or shortly after. But again, with the amount of work Mobbin has had to do for that video, and with it having broken his computer, Mobbin, would you mind yourself posting your video link in the chat? And do head over to Mobbin's channel and check out that downtown loop run. I know he was hoping to get out another video this week, but that may be slightly delayed if he doesn't have such good access, or he will maybe have to get something sorted shortly. But I know that won't take too long for him to get fixed. He's a very clever lad. To pacify that prop, but I have no idea what it is. It's some sort of siren that flicks out. If you don't do it in a moment yourself, Mobbin, I will do it at the end of this race. Mobbin's saying though, haha, okay, we'll link it in a moment. I will give it another little shout out when he does, so it's in context with the link as it pops up. And I may have to use another workstation in the meantime, as Rhandoss has been exceptionally clean through this run. No major mistakes, has been able to extend over speed. Again, speed, as he gets more and more used to the curb boosting and then the brake boosting, will catch up to his potential on GTA, having come from the games. Again, just pointing it out, I am very quickly now going to have a quick look at the name of the game that Speed originally started on. Being slightly older, he did start back in the 80s. That's not the right thing that he's trying to do. Rhandoss exceptionally clean down the section. You see him getting the brake boost. You did see the timer early on catch it a little bit of extra speed. We did hear squeals on the other two and three, not losing any time, and squeal on the second one there and the third. So losing minimal time to not the perfect brake boost, but losing a touch of time on just standard brake boosting. on brake boosting and curb boosting in general. That is what I've started to find, is there are the different percentages of it. There's like a 90% version that gets you a brake light that starts to slow the car down, and then a little squeal that then gets you back up to normal speed. And then there's also the elongated tyre mark, skid mark, coming out from the back. It signifies that you're getting it. I'd say it comes from about 92-95% onwards, and you get a nice thin tyre mark initially, and then a really thick elongated tyre mark as it goes on. And that is a little bit of guesswork for myself, but at the same time, is I have been watching a lot of these 1v1s, and I've been practicing the brake boosting myself. And the game Speed Demon did start on was a game called Outrun back in the 80s, and he's learning all of the new stuff through people like Azzy, Scarface, and Matt, learning to extend the boundaries of the track as we do on GTA. We do not treat GTA. Thank you very much, Mobbin, for that. I do have to give a huge shout out to Mobbin's video, because it contains not only the raw lap, it then contains a comparison of him and Trilsy, so side by side comparison, and then it also breaks down potential improvements for people that are wanting to go out and give it a good run. So Mobbin giving a few pointers on where you can potentially, I think it was up to 2 seconds you thought you could save Mobbin with a completely perfect run, or 1.2. I'm getting the 2 from somewhere, but do have to give Mobbin a high level of credit for the way he's laid that video out. It's somewhat, it shows off the world record run, it then shows it off against the old world record to see where he gained the extra time and where he lost portions of time. It then goes on to show where you can then gain extra time from if you get the cuts that he's done in the past in different contexts and scenarios. So it then also combines it into a tutorial aspect. So really, really nice stuff from Mobbin. And now with a GG to both, slightly congratulatory to Rhandoss with confirming the playlist, and then the GG's, the commiseration to Speed, that Speed will not need feeling sorry for, as he, like myself, does know the position in the community very well. See, again, just very nice and clean, sticks within the boundaries of the track, very nice and clean, and you see Speed. You won't have seen this from Speed before. He's not the curb boosting sort, starting to pick it up now, getting very nice and tight to the barrier, avoiding and there we go. Mobbin just saying it's 1.5 seconds or so. I think it was one of the other comparisons I looked at a little bit more. It was the top left one I was looking at. I think that one came up at 1.4 as a perfect lap, but I really like the editing on it with the way you've got the blings, the bling 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 as you loaded in the different times and stuff like that. It was very much like the way game times do, or did used to pop in on old games. So inspired by like the arcade machine sound effects a little bit maybe. But yeah, I thoroughly appreciate it, and I hope that I gave that a good sell for you there, Mobbin, I think. Sold all aspects of the video, so people that are interested in just world record lines know that first up, raw footage, so you can hear all the engine notes, everything nice and unedited. Then you get a slightly more enhanced version where he lays it side by side. You hear both engine notes and stuff like that side by side with Trilsy. And then you see all the different comparison cuts. Yeah, no, it wasn't confusing at all. Honestly, it was just the one I focused on in the top left. It was the one that caught my eye. I know that I'd need to go back and so I can focus on the other cuts better. But when I watched it with my food last night, that was the one I picked out, was top left. And that was the number that stuck in my head. I had 1.42 seconds stuck in my head for some reason. I do have a bit of an OCD thing occasionally with stuff I do remember, so I'm quite good once I do remember it. Rhandoss has been very clean over the boost. Didn't get any bricking incident with the clipping of the boost that we do see very often. And is able to carry his speed. Let's have a little look at the lap times that have come in. We see Rhandoss gain up to an 11-second lead, maybe a little bit more with this first portion of the track done, but with the 153.843 going in for a very risky, just ever so slightly offline, like literal millimetres, any closer to the edge of the ramp loop, so would have got a nice clean slip, but car ever so slightly wonky. Emira's not behaving maybe quite the way he hopefully imagined it to go on the perfect cut, but handled it really nicely. Pulled round into loop, not going off the track, no respawns needed. And with the way he picked his speed up, there wouldn't be potentially. Oh, okay. I believe it is the final lap. Rhandoss feathering the throttle nicely, knowing he does have an extended lead over speed, just pulling up at the bottom of the straight. I am going to flick over to speed, allow Rhandoss, who I do believe is watching too, to have a little eye. Speed just entering the final tube. Not quite knowing the boost lines in the exit on this track is a little bit damaging, but we do see speed go for the loop, line up the exit, just a little bit too aggressive speed, man. Honestly, the fact that we're seeing you try this stuff is awesome. Like, I'll show you these lines over the next week for stuff like P-Race. Oh, the car just backing off the track. Don't worry about his speed. Honestly, you can. I'm not sure if you can, but a little chuckle from speed. Just a little bit of advice, speed, is maybe start your loop a little bit earlier and do it lazier. Don't do it so tight. Would be my advice. And then when we go out, I'll try and explain it to you. Better maybe spectate me for 1 or 2 laps, and then we'll go out the next time and do it together. We'll do that tomorrow or something. Me, you and Matt will go out a couple of times on a couple of different tracks. I'll teach you a bit more about curb boosting and brake boosting and loop and tube lines. But again, as I do say, speed, and I have said it before, speed has taken victories off just about everybody in the community. Jack does think that he may be one of the few that hasn't, but he may be a little bit wrong in that. And nice now, having gone and checked out the video, offers up a nice lap. GG mobbing, thumbs up, good man. That is the support we like to see. Rhandoss has taken the first playlist 4-0, hitting the restart. If you hit square speed, it will carry you through nicely. And again, just in this little transitional period, we did see, oh my drink, we did just see Keno versus Matt. Keno was able to secure himself all 18 points, joining Luke, Fern and Official as the group top performers. They are, I believe, the only players that are able to achieve that. They have done. Nacho close behind on 16, joined with Lazy. Then Razza and Jack so far on 13 points each. They did decide to do it on the way the playlists had played out, and that did put Jack top of the group, ahead of Razza on race wins. So Jack does go top of group 5, Razza in second place, joint on 13 points. And then just a little bit of clarification on the proceedings of yesterday. Tagger and Roby had one of the most intense 1v1s. The level of the two of them was so closely matched that they drew both of their playlists, and then they did have to go. Oh, I've for some reason been kicked. I'm going to very quickly set up a new invite. Well, it should drop me into an invite session that'll invite you both to. Not quite sure what happened there. You both, it showed on my screen that you both hit restart, but it's just maybe Keno had a lag issue, or not Keno, maybe Rhandoss just lagged out. But I can hear Speed rolling a smoke. Speed, you take your time. You roll that. Well, we can take a little 5-minute break here, get you that rolled. And it gives me time to get you both invited nicely into the session again. There is, oh, I can't, oh, I know how I can do it. I forgot we're in a party together. Sorry for the quick blue screen here. Just need to hit the play together functionality in my party chat. There we go, they're both invited. Again, Rhandoss, I know you've not got a mic, but Speed's just going to quickly roll himself a little smoke. And then we'll be just about good to go. For some reason it disconnected us all. Now, Speed, I did spend a little bit more time on you during that first playlist, and I may just return that favour and do like the 2 laps I was spending on you with Rhandoss in this one, just to spread the YouTube nicely. But I will give you will be getting at least a lap or a portion of the action on each track, sort of thing. You're not going to be left out, don't worry. I just wanted to point out. Yep, that's what I'll try and do, flick over at the right points to catch the good exits and such like that. Now, just waiting for the guys to join on me. I'm going to have to quickly flick. Yep, Rhandoss just asking me if he's joining me. Yes, please. Just letting him know in the message, just in case you can't hear. Speed's rolling a quick smoke. Right, Rhandoss is here. Let's have a little look on the map. He is on the street. There he is at the mask shop. We are going to head over, see if we can have a little look at what he's buying. You never know, might have become just letting this YouTube baby go to my head. Maybe he's becoming a bit of a fanboy and he's going to buy himself a Fox mask. You never know. And again, that is a light joke. I am I did joke in the party that I'd ditch all my friends in the party within a week's time, as I let the YouTube sensation go to my head, but it is a full-on joke. I was just expressing my admiration for how much support we've gained so quickly for the commentary alone, because with me gaining the 107 subs, with a lot of you being signed up to Jack's channel already, it just showed how needed this was. And Joker, my dude, is send me a private message, man, with what's going on. What's happened? Because me and you just need to race more often if you need a bit of a confidence boost, because it will let you know that you're far above someone of my ability in general. Like, that's with that. I don't want to assume too much, but like, you've backed out of the chats at the moment and said that you're giving up. Like these guys, a lot of these guys that we've come up against in this tournament have been around, like, it's not me criticising or overselling them, but they've been around in this for 2-3 years. They've got a lot of experience. They know how to handle the pressure, handle the cuts. But myself, Joker, my dude, thank you so much for asking. I am very well. But like I say, do send me a private message with what is going on, because I would like to see you stick around in the community. As you can see, I made you a moderator nice and early on. I've raced with you a lot, I've commentated on you, we raced with Channy B and stuff like that too. Like, you're an active member of the community and it'd be a shame to lose you. Now, Rhandoss was just saying, no hurry at all, very nice, and it is, yeah, oh, is ready. So it is downloading. We have seen it do this before. It will likely suck me in. Joke, mate, that I get it, but at the same time, like, maybe just, like, try joining our party a couple of times. You know what I mean? We'll happily, just when you're on, let us know. And honestly, sitting in a party with us lot, it completely changes the attitude to racing quite quickly. Like, there's no like, I've got no problem giving you a go in the party, seeing if you get along with the guys and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure the guys have no issue with you either. I've never heard anything said against you, or anybody else really in the community, that we're not willing to give a go in the parties of late. Certainly with me being the way I am and pushing things so hard on the community front, we are in general willing to give anybody a go. See if you fit in and all that sort of stuff. If you fit in nicely, it will help give you a nice little kick and encouragement to stay on GTA a little bit more. And certainly if you do start racing with me, like, getting your, because I'm competitive, like, against, like, if you make too many mistakes and stuff like that, I'm not so slow that I can't punish you for that, whereas against the top level guys, I can't punish them for their mistakes. If that makes any sort of sense at all. But again, Jacob, maybe just a break. Like, we'll maybe take a couple of weeks break, and if another space opens up in the chat, we'll get you added back. I know you're playing The Last of Us recently. But I do appreciate that, even with the competitivity of the 1v1 with the commentary, that Rockstar, having not given us any more tracks in over, I believe it to be 4 years now, this came out in 2016 or 2017 as Stunt, that it has become a touch stale. And especially with the fact that they don't let us have leaderboards on the created tracks. Because if the created tracks had leaderboards, the stunt racing community would flock to them like flies at this point, I have to say, because that is the reason why people that chase world records, again, not putting it in any bias, as I fully appreciate people wanting to go for the records, and I want to get myself as high up on the leaderboards as possible myself as I progress. is, as much as I'm not at the same competitivity in my mindset as some of the other people around, is I do want to see the progression in myself, and the leaderboards are a very good way to see that as you come down the numbers. I think there's only one track with a Spooky that I'm in the top 100 on. I'd like to see that expand to 2, 3, 5, 10. And then keep pushing on through it. But it does show that we do need the leaderboards to have that encouragement to play the tracks on. And hopefully, if Rockstar ever come across this content, or if we ever manage to do a strong enough support ticket / petition to the game as Broly did, Ruffy, with the GTO, to get that modified, to get the handling flags off it, then we would then be able to get the leaderboards onto them tracks. Because yeah, the creator is going to know the track best, but maybe, like, in a sense, with the track creator knowing the track best, we can hold that a little bit to the side for stunt racing terms and use the other record just below it as the record, just so it doesn't show favouritism to creators. As we do see speed being very nice and tidy, we are going to have a look at the time score, a 2:36.817 on the first lap, to 2:40.966. Speed, this is another of the tracks because it will help teach you a lot of the boost lines on different tubes. The 8 especially, I'll take you out on this week. Like, if me, you and Matt, like tomorrow, or because you two are on quite late, it's tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday night, I'll take you and Matt out and I'll stream it and we'll do a little bit of my stunt racing school, and you and Matt can actually become my first 2 streamed students. Just like, I know, like, I'm at a similar level to you two, really, but at the same time I know a couple of the lines a little bit better. It's just I crash into barriers an awful lot. Exactly what I'm saying, Joker, mate. If they just make, like, the Emirates a little bit more stable on landings through liftoff, if they'd give us new tracks themselves, or would let us add leaderboards to, say, H400 to the Afterburner remake, so the Gauntlet remake, so we can run around all of these tracks and we can develop PBs and world records for all of the cars potentially around these tracks. Like, there's not, like, I would go out, I enjoyed the cliques so much around Green Machine. It's like, I'm really hoping that they actually do, like, it's not a remaster they're planning an enhanced and an expanded GTA. And I really hope that within that, and Mobbin stated it as well, that it is actually enhanced, that it actually renders properly at 60 frames per second. It's enhanced to the sense that maybe they actually give us servers to connect to rather than it being peer-to-peer, making things a hell of a lot more stable, leaving lag issues completely down to your own internet connection rather than the connection you have to said host. And that isn't criticising any hosts in the community, but some people's internet isn't as strong as others, and they live in remote or remoter places in the world. Like when we connect to Australian hosts, say for the banger racing and stuff like that, the lag issues can become really unenjoyable. But it also allows us to do this. It allows us to have a lot of freedom, which is why we've played the game for, in my case, with, I did have a 2-year break, but I was in a crew that is actually still around, and Rhandoss with that lovely ramp skip, just distracting my attention enough from my little pattery chat as we watch him go round. But yeah, it's only like my old crew, domestic battery. Yeah, and that's exactly what they are doing. They're releasing it in August 2021. They made it in the launch trailer of the PlayStation 5 appear as though GTA and GT Sport were going to be launch titles. Both games are delayed releases, and you see Rhandoss again showing an awesome level of respect back to Speed, somebody he has raced with potentially hundreds of times at this point. Speed has been in the community for a good 2-3 years. Oh, the car just misbehaving slightly through the tube, but you can see that Speed's actual car control very high, catching the car very quickly as he comes across the line, nice and safely, no chance of DNFing with a slight weight. I don't think there was too much risk of it, even with the slumming up there, but Rhandoss, maybe knowing he wasn't on for a proper PB, able to sum up a 29.084. A very kinky time there from Rhandoss, very close to flat, as Jack calls it. I refuse to say it on stream. That is a kinky, deviant time for Rhandoss. But yeah, it's like, just, I really wish that the enhancements and the expansion, like, I'm hoping that the expansion is to do maybe with story mode and then allowing more creativity from the creators within the game. And I'm hoping that the enhancements include stuff like an actual server to connect to, and to get rid of peer-to-peer with that, so we're not connecting to, so people from Australia aren't connecting to me as me being host, and I'm not connecting to people in Australia being host. I have a centralized server, maybe in America. Doesn't matter that it gives them slightly better ping. It's racing, is we just had to learn how to avoid a certain boundary around them cars. That's fine, but an actual centralized server would make it nice and smooth, and it'd stop a lot of the random disconnect issues that we do have with it being peer-to-peer, when either our connection to the host slightly wavers or their connection slightly wavers. And when the host's connection slightly wavers, it does have the chance to either just kick the host or kick everybody from the lobby, unfortunately. We did see Rhandoss very cleanly and tidy taking, with a kinky, deviant time, taking the first race. Again, a little tiny bit of context. Speed has come from games like Outrun back in the 80s, learning laws such as having to stay within that white line we see on the stunt track pieces, not being allowed to go outside the boundaries. Now, we are going to spend first lap with Speed, maybe lap and a half on this one, to spend a bit more time with Rhandoss on there. And Joker mate, whenever you fancy, if you do fancy, even if you are playing different games for a while, if it will potentially draw you back a little bit quicker, you are welcome to give our parties a go. We all know that we need a break from GTA, but I also know that your passion and love for the game that has seen you play it as often and as regularly as you have to build up the skill level you've got really isn't going to let you stay away for too long. I know that, and again, just for the context reasons, my personal friend Tell Me Vortex was on a bit of a break from GTA, but again, a little bit more regularly appearing in game. Oh, all speed, catching the helicopter pad landing light as we saw Jacob and Luke having never in a big spin through the second tube, a brick on the diffuser. Very unlucky from speed. But as well, Joker, is always feel free to pop by the channel if you see me racing and stuff like that, and you just fancy a casual thing. Is during your break, your casual racing for another 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks at least, will match up to my highest level while I'm still getting to grips with everything. So maybe, as well as taking a bit of a break, it's about finding the right people who are competitive but not going to punish you too much while you're playing a bit more casually and enjoying a little bit of an extended break from the game. Right, we all do need it. Everybody's taking a break. Marty's taken many. Jack too. I took a 2-year break myself. About 6-7 months after the stunt release, and I've literally just come back now. I think it's 2.5 years. It looked like my crew domestic battery was going to fall into the wayside at that point, but they have survived and they're going strong. If you are a mature gamer, is Arwin, I know Arwin knows of them, thinks of them very highly. Do head over and check them out on Social Club. That is Domestic Battery Gaming. They do a lot of mixed jobs. They take part in mixed head-to-heads. They aren't a purely racing crew, but I have a lot of time and respect for them, knowing a lot of the members there. It's been a lovely clean lap from Rhandoss. Have a quick look at the lap times. 155.249 from 208.570 from speed. As you see, Rhandoss cross the line, pull that up again, 151.212, very nice, a bit more and kinky from Rhandoss getting into the 0.2s, and I like it. I like the deviancy, I have to say. As much as flat times, that 000 is tremendously satisfying in a way. Oh, Rhandoss pushing so close to the edge, handling it so well. Rhandoss, mate, we can see, like, over the past couple of days we streamed Rhandoss, well, in the past week we streamed Rhandoss twice, we streamed everybody twice, but we did see Rhandoss making a couple more mistakes than we would generally see him make on track. But he did personally message me afterwards saying that as much as he had really enjoyed it, he did find the pressure a little bit hard to get used to, that he wasn't used to it, that the extra streaming pressure was a little bit much for him. Again, this isn't making mistakes, making excuses for anybody. Just a little bit of context behind it is this is a very new thing for GTA. I know we see it in a lot of other games, people streaming and commentating on it, but the 1v1s have been around for a little while now without commentary, adding that extra layer of pressure. They do usually either upload or stream it themselves without any voice over the top. And this will be something and similar I will be doing in the future. Now, I also would like to say, as we did confirm it last night, we will, over the weekend, potentially tomorrow, be welcoming to the commentary team Azzy Boy and Scarface. And that it's like, with me and Jack being the people that are doing the commentary, I know a couple of other people have shown a little bit of interest, but they haven't yet joined the parties with us. We know that humour between me, Azzy, Scarface and Jack can bounce off quite well. It allows us to always have a co-commentator, and it also allows, say, streams, if me and Jack ever do a 1v1, say, the 1v1 that Jack has asked me to do for my 100 subscriber special, and me being me, and wanting to show myself off in the best / worst light possible, allowing you guys to rib me and take a little bit of a shot back, and or more offer me, as you all do, the constructive criticism. Rhandoss there, he did slow up, but maybe not quite enough, maybe feeling he was on for a PB, but speed with the first DNF, I'm sure Rhandoss didn't really mean to apply, having showed all the respect earlier on. And if it was a PB time just while I was chatting away, Speed has disconnected. Can't hear Speed in the party at the moment. Oh, there is Speed. Hello, Speed. I think you lagged out of the thingy there. Rhandoss will get you an invite. I'll quickly put that in our little group chat I made for us, just in case Rhandoss can't hear. And then I'll be back in the YouTube reel. And again, like myself, is whatever the outcome, I know that Speed will want to complete the 1v1. Will not be hanging in the towel should Rhandoss... Oh, there we go. Rhandoss already on it. I was just about to send a message. Clearly can hear me in the party. Thank you for confirming all of that, Rhandoss. That. We are heading into Plymouth. Sorry. Now, in just under an hour and a half, maybe a little bit later, Jack will be hosting a playlist and I will commentate upon that. After that commentary stream, I may well turn the voice off because I've used my voice a hell of a lot today. Again, I do, because it does sound like a little bit of a complaint. Not complaining in any way, but just give my voice a little bit of a break, save it tomorrow night, or we have Heredia versus Azzy Boy at 8 PM, and then Snail versus Spartacus for 10 PM tomorrow night. So 2 very big matches for their group. Heredia is already confirmed in 2nd place, but looking to strengthen his point position against Azzy. And Snail and Spartacus will be battling for 1st place. Spartacus in 2nd place on 7, as we hear whoomp, 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 whoomp. I am going to head over to Rhandoss and help get him used to this pressure as well. Having previously inclinated the fact that it had got to him ever so slightly, able to handle it, get the points he needed to stay in the hunt, didn't let it affect him too badly, but maybe did make a mistake or 2 more than we would generally see. This time, Rhandoss has been exceptionally clean, maybe able to have driven a little percentage or 2 within himself. I'm not saying he has, but just potentially just able to rein it back just a touch, make sure he's nice and consistent around track, still taking a vast majority or all of the cut. And we see again very clean, nice and smooth, good application at the brake at the peak of the hill, pulling nicely round the corner. We did see Speed very shortly before Rhandoss crossed over, going through crossover point. Now, again, slight little update on the 100 subscriber special. We will be doing the 4 commentary streams over the weekend. Tonight is just a little bonus one to help me get a little bit more used to the 16 player commentary stream, so I can try and do my very best over the weekend to get the action captured as excitedly as possible. But another thing that will become part of it is next weekend I really would like to host a contact playlist. We will be starting with a banger race just to set the tone. There will be a couple of stunt races. There will be a couple of other little bits and pieces, maybe a street race, a rally race, and like 6 jobs on contact. I think within our community, because we're so used to non-contact, it could cause some utter hilarity for commentary reasons, if that makes any sense. And I hope you guys are maybe a little bit willing to do that with me and work with me on that. Speed Demon very quickly on the thumbs up as he exits the match, and I know from personal experience with Speed it will hold no hard feelings at all. Tyrese, mate, that would be next Friday, Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to post it in the chat. It could also potentially be all 3 days should there be enough response to it. So if there's 10 to 16 players, that'll be 1 lobby. If there's then getting on for 24 to 32, that'd be 2 lobbies on Friday and Saturday. And then if there's getting on for, say, the 46 to the 56 mark, that I believe completes out the numbers, we can potentially do 3 contact lobbies next weekend. Again, that would be slightly celebrating my 100 subscriber special. Not totally, this is this weekend and all the plans are in place. And it looks like we're getting Ghost Racing DLC again, maybe signifying this is what we've got coming. They're not going to give us new tracks, they're going to give us invisible tracks with no props on, no barriers, no tracks. We can't hear the engine noise of the car, we just have to know where we're going by instinct. This could be a scary proposition, and Joker, mate, thoroughly enjoyed having you with us, and I do honestly, I mean it, I hope and wish that you do join the party soon, and it helps bring back either not your enjoyment for the game back so much, but brings back your love of the community to bring you back to the game, which will then lead to the enjoyment in the game. So to yourself as well, go well at work. As we see a lovely clean exit from Rhandoss, allowing him to extend his lead slightly over Speed Demon. And like I say, Joker, if you do ever fancy just a little bit of casual racing, it's like me and players like Matt and Channy are going to be around this level for a little while longer. They'll be nice and competitive as we improve slightly and you hold your level through your break. Like just a little bit of rust may develop here and there, but we can help you keep that at a minimum as we see the second nice exit from Rhandoss. Rhandoss could be on for a very nice lap time here. On his first lap, I'm imagining it is going to be around 54 to the lower mark, shattering my first lap time, well, my best lap time, and we've got a 52, well below my 54 guess or lower. We are in to the 53s or lower with a 52.942 first lap. Rhandoss shaping the nose nicely so he doesn't get any bricking incident on the curve as I hide the head again, and we are going to head to Speed Demon at this point as the crossover point was very well matched. We did hear Speed going underneath Rhandoss as Rhandoss jumped over the top of him. Give this lap to Speed, give him some good commentary, good clean lines, and we do again see Speed going out of his comfort zone, clipping across the curbs. If it was the playlist tonight you were talking about, Tyrese. That is at about 10:30, maybe 11. Jack will be hosting it, and I'll be commentating on that as a little practice run for the weekend 16-player playlist, where I'll be doing commentary on 4 full, hopefully full player lobbies. Try and get a bit of commentary done on everybody. If that again makes any sort of sense, then the contacts playlist would be next weekend, and we do have the potential to run it on all 3 days over the weekend, the Friday night, the Saturday and the Sunday. Just depends how well it is received in the chat. And like, we could potentially run the Friday contact playlist at the 8-9 o'clock slot, then the Saturday one at a later time, say 2 AM UK time, so the Americans and Australians can get involved in it, and then maybe the earlier 2 o'clock slot on Sunday, again allowing a different selection of the community to be involved. But we have seen Speed have a very nice clean lap, and I imagine we will see some improvement there, down to a 158.708 to a 150.611. Speed, I believe, he has maybe had slightly faster before, but with Rockstar showing it is getting closer, as I've hinted before. It does seem to be around that 1 second to 2 second mark, which shows them times up at. Getting more consistent with his new speed. That lighter does not work anymore. Let me grab this one. Rhandoss with a very nice, clean, proper loop skip, ramp skip, loop skip. And I say it like that because he did it a little bit like the ramp skips, clipping a little bit of the loop, sending the car into a barrel roll and flicking nicely over the gap in between the track pieces. Very tidy, very, very exciting from Rhandoss as he enters the tube nicely and down to that middle portion of the track and pulling through and round. Good low flat exit, flattening out curve of the jump. Rhandoss, it does look like he was on for a good lap time here. 150.611 and 152 as the first lap. He may have to cross the line with it potentially being a PB 3 lap. That was very, very clean and tidy from Rhandoss, and he will obviously feel slightly guilty that he's upset a very well respected member of the community in Speed. Was not in the ideal situation of wanted that to happen. I know a lot of the guys do and have, Rhandoss has throughout this early portion of the competition, been nicely holding up on the line, so there's no chance of it with the potential 3 lap PB. Just had to do it to get himself slightly up the leaderboard. Rhandoss has got himself, let's double check all of this, so it's the 3 points from the first and the 3 points from the second. That does take Rhandoss up to 11 points in his group. At the moment, Rhandoss goes top, 1 point ahead of Snail and 4 points ahead of Spartacus. If Spartacus or Snail, Spartacus and Snail win one each, Snail goes 3 points onto 13, 2 ahead, with Spartacus 1 behind. Spartacus wins both, he does swing into the lead on 13, so this group is very tight. Snail with the chance to go up onto 16 points with Nacho and Lazy as the second best group of performers in this group stage. I will be back very shortly with a commentary stream. Do head over and check out Rhandoss's channel. Has recently started streaming. I did share it into the chat and the comment earlier. Speed, your channel's not active, is it? It is just a YouTube channel that you come and watch stuff through. Yeah. But do maybe head over, give him a little follow, see what subscriptions he does, because he is an active member of the community, so I'm sure he subscribed to a few, and show a couple of them channels some love. Go check out a spanner or two in my chat. I know I got Mobbin to share his video earlier. Do go check out Mobbin's channel for that downtown loop 36, and it was a very well made video. I do thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe, and then also head over and check out the other 1v1s on Jack's channel. Tell me I'm Vortex, and there is one of my 1v1s on 28th channel, that's Diego. Thank you all so much, and goodbye for about 40 minutes to maybe an hour and 10. Thank you, goodbye.